Good morning, everywhere. We're starting bright and early. It's 8 a.m. It's too bright and early. This is not normal. I hope everyone is doing well. I was just thinking, like, I was like, man, I wonder how long it's been since I started streaming Higurashi. 9 months. And then I was like, you know, someone could have an entire child in that time. And then I remembered, oh wait, someone did have an entire child in that time. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get through this, the rest of this chapter. I'm pretty sure we can. Yesterday I drew a little Rena. We had a disorder that normal people didn't. I love her so much. She's my little meow meow. And I moved this other little Rena up here. She's keeping chat company. But yeah, oh my god. Last night I was hanging out with some friends in a call, and we started watching Augie and the Cockroaches, and the intro to like that show. I'm going zoing, 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 zoing. That I'm not much of like a vocal stim guy. Like I'm never really like that much. Like I don't vocal stim much. Just not my thing. But Zoe, oh my god. You know, I almost forgot it until right before I started the stream. And I was like, well, I'm gonna make everyone's day measurably worse. Alright, let's I guess we were here. Yeah. Okay, so last time they're after us, they want us dead. But then we killed them. But then we killed Rena and Mion. There's a whole bunch of guys at the front of the house. They want me dead. They want me so bad. Yep. Yeah. I have some thoughts on what I think could be happening. But I'm gonna save most of them for once we finish this episode, because reminder, I think I mention this every stream. I played this chapter and I played the next chapter. That was like a year ago at least. So it's starting to get a little foggy, but very well could be some of the information that I've got from playing these two chapters that is informing these conclusions. So I'm not sure how much to actually talk about, because I don't want to ruin it for anyone who's like experiencing the story for the first time. There's been I've done this before twice, amazingly. When I played Witch's Heart. Well, I mean, okay. The first time I played it, I accidentally I'm trying to remember what I did. I think I accidentally spoiled it for myself. And then I forgot. And then it was like the second time I played it, I managed to spoil myself in the exact same way, even though I'd forgotten like what had happened. I managed to like spoil myself in the same way by going to the fandom wiki. And so anyways, okay, let's go. We've got to get through this. The doorbell rang again. The unrelenting echo pulled me back into a state of composure once again. I didn't have a moment to spare. Quickly, I needed to get away. I didn't want to die. I would uncover everything after that. The identity of whoever or whatever had pushed me this far, even if I had to drink mud and eat grass. No one is telling you to drink mud and eat grass. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, even if I have to, like, poo myself and cry. No one wants you to do that. No one's asking you to do that, Keiichi. I would survive. I would survive. I would definitely survive. You know, even if I have to drink mud and eat grass. I killed Rena for that very reason. Who? Why? Why did you kill her? Yeah. I also killed Mion. I went that far just to keep living, so I can't die. For my sake, and for the sake of the late Rena and Mion. I have to survive. Still, what the fuck is this carton? Like, what is it? If I press space? It's like unidentifiable objects in this image. Like, is that a bag? Is that like, what's that? I think these are shoes. This is Wes, like, experiences, like, existence outside of her room for the first time. Like, what is this? A tree? But, like, what is this? Is this, like, recycling? Is that newspaper in there? Like, that looks like a carton, and it's got, like, the, like, kind of metal, not metal, plastic, like, strap thing on it. That's kind of, like, a bit thick, and, like, you can cut it. But then this looks like maybe these are metal bits, like, holding it open. I'm so curious. I think this is the biggest mystery of Higurashi, actually. I ran towards the door and grabbed my shoes. The doorbell rang on as if to urge me on. Behind this single solitary door, they were there. Maybe I should make Rena with the disorder that normal people didn't have. A tiny bit. I don't want it to overlap the game. Keeping quiet, I headed towards the kitchen, headed towards the back door. Before opening the back door, I put my ear to it and checked for people outside. No one? After I put on my shoes, I opened the door slowly as to not make a sound. There he is, the back door! A piercing voice echoed out. That voice stabbed through me, setting my hair on end. I had to run. Get out of here, Keiichi! Oh fuck. One after the other, I felt stuff like rationale and intelligence, those things you use when you have time to spare, spill out of me. I don't use them when I have time to spare. When I have time to spare, I play video games. Just saying. I didn't feel any pain from the branches scratching my arms and forehead. My autonomously pulsing heart also felt neither fatigue nor pain. My entire being just wished to live. There was nothing else it desired. Probably had no complaints whatsoever. So of course I wouldn't feel fatigue. I just ran. Just recklessly rushing in the direction I was already heading. Even if nobody was chasing after me, I'd still be running like this. There wasn't a thought in my mind about where I was headed. There's a little dog yapping. It stopped yapping. It's yapping. Turning around, I felt a presence right next to me. That presence was without a doubt chasing me like my shadow. When he says things like, definitely, like without a doubt, like there was certainly a presence there, like I'm sure of it. I'm like, I don't think there is. I'm sorry for doubting you, Keiichi. I don't know. If I took even one misstep, I would be devoured. That's what I thought. So I didn't turn around. I didn't stop. Like, that makes me doubt him. Like, are there actually people chasing after you, Keiichi? I ran at full speed. Quack, 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 quack. That was the chirping of the Higurashi telling me it was evening. Higurashi, cicadas?
Cicada.
Cicada. And I don't think I get them here. Well, I don't know. Oh, there are in Australia. Hmm. I'm I'm assuming the like sound we're hearing now in the game is cicadas. That was the chirping of the Higurashi telling me it was evening, trying to tell me something, and then I finally heard it, the wailing cry of the victims who didn't make it. Would I be joining them? Quack, 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 quack. Wise, 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 wise. Only the Higurashi knew. They knew everything. They definitely knew. See, I don't think they know. You know, before that I was like, yeah, I'm on board. The Higurashi knew everything, and then he's like, they definitely knew. Maybe not. So I ran towards where I could hear more of the Higurashi chirps. But the farther I ran, the farther away their chirping became. I couldn't get near them. Why are you all running away? Was it my fault? Was I the one to blame? Then I'll apologize. I'm sorry. 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 Keiichi would do the worst YouTuber apology. He would sit in front of a camera for like 2 hours and go, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I felt that only the Higurashi knew. Higurashi when they cry. I was thinking in this chapter we've seen like this it's tricky because I'm pretty sure that the parts of the game they're called like chapters, like there's chapter 1, chapter 2, etc. But then in each game there's chapters like where like chapter like 12 or whatever. Um it's confusing. Um but in this chapter 1 there's a lot of focus I feel like on Rena primarily and then Mion. And then Satoko and Rika don't really have a whole lot of focus. They're just kind of there. The smoking room was filled with a cloud of cigarette smoke. The expensive smoke filter gave off some crackling electric noise, but it didn't seem like it was doing anything at all. Why do smokers have to be shoved so far down this corridor where the sun didn't even reach? I recalled hearing that the tax revenue from tobacco was about 1/10 of the municipality's revenue. That's how you say it, right? I didn't even look it up. We were the most heavily taxed members of this. I gotta look it up. Municipality.
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 Municipality. I'm sorry. It keeps me so entertained. We were the most heavily taxed members of this municipality, so I really wish they'd show us a little more respect. Oh, smokers truly are the most oppressed group. Why would you discard the 5 manzu there? It's just decreasing your options. One of the younger detectives was having a staring contest with the mahjong magazine called Next Turn. Still in Tenpai if you cut the 5 manzu. I know nothing about mahjong. This means nothing to me. If you're betting on a haite, then shouldn't you be going into it with a mangan? Kuma-chan, look at the pond. They all just called it a 5-man zoo. It's a safe tile. You'd hate it if at the end of the game someone was sitting on a 10 pile on the last turn, wouldn't you? Yeah, I would. I totally would. The kid let out another groan, put out his cigarette, then took out another one. I just don't agree. Why would you reduce your own options? By the way, you can't call wrong with your winning tile in that high tay. What? Why is that? Just then, I heard a voice coming from down the hall. Are you here, Oishi-san? I assume this is like from Oishi's perspective, but like I'm not gonna do like the thoughts in Oishi's voice. His internal voice is like, it's just some kid with an Australian accent. You have a call from a civilian. Whoa, ain't that something? Well, see you soon. Why can't you call wrong on it? Hold on for a second, Oishi-san. Do the calls. The man sitting in the seat Oishi-san was heading towards waved at the telephone receiver. Outside line, from a payphone. Oh, why thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting, this is Oishi. Who is it? Oishi-san. Hello? But isn't Mayabata-san? Why, good evening. From the tone Mayabata-kun's voice. From the tone of Mayabata-kun's voice, I already knew he was in a predicament. This was the first time Mayabata-kun had phoned me. He was calling from a payphone. Please calm down. Did something happen? Well... His voice was erratic over the line. He'd completely lost his sense of composure. After checking that nobody else could hear, I prompted him in a hushed tone. What happened? I... Calm down, Mayabata-san. I can have the local officers head to your location. I'll be there soon too. I think that's impossible. His voice was quivering and hoarse. He wasn't surrounded by people even as he was making this call, was he? Mayabata-san, you're calling from a payphone right now, right? Where is that payphone? There were no other sounds besides Mayabata-kun's voice. It had to be a phone booth. I scratched out a note and thrust it at my colleague sitting from across me. Extra drawn out a little kitty cat. Here you go. Hinamizawa phone booth. He understood quickly and hastily started on the internal lines. His notes are written in his accent. It's just his thoughts that are in my voice. Calm down, Mayabata-san. What is your current situation? It was best practice to avoid flustering someone panicking, but this was an urgent case. Mayabata-kun didn't just get in trouble, get away, and then call me. He was in the midst of something dangerous right now. But yelling at Mayabata-kun right now would just needlessly cause him to be even more frantic. Mayabata-kun wasn't just calling to seek help, he was trying to tell us something more than that. And whatever that was, if I didn't get it from this call, I was certain there would never be another chance. My colleague pushed a note in front of me. There's only one booth in Hinamizawa. A patrol car is on the way. 5 minutes. That's too long. How many officers are in there? 2. Not enough. If it was as I imagined, there were likely quite a few people surrounding Mayabata-kun. 5 minutes was too long. Did you call the officer stationed in Hinamizawa? He's scheduled to be on patrol. They're currently out and it'll be impossible to contact them. God damn. Kuma-chan, bring the car around. You're not going to be able to get there in less than 5 minutes. Like... Understood. Hello? Oishi-san? Hello. It's alright. I can hear you loud and clear. There was something wrong with Mayabata-kun. That wasn't a normal coughing sound. It was the sound of someone really not putting their all into coughing because they don't want to hurt their throat. Vomiting? Or was it blood? Had he already been attacked? Was he injured? Mayabata-san, the police are on their way. They'll be there in a couple of minutes, so hold on somehow. Hello? Can you hear me? Mayabata-san. I could hear on the other end of the line that he was having a coughing fit. Not this music! The worst possible situation popped into my head. Mayabata-san, who is the culprit? How many are there? I thought at first the culprit was human. Hack. I couldn't tell if that was a cough or vomiting. Are you alright, Maibata-san? I thought that the culprit was a person and not Oyashiro-sama's curse. Up until right now. But I guess, in the end, hack. It was an intense bout of coughing, then vomiting. But I guess Oyashiro-sama does exist. Or he's here. Maibata-san, please, just calm down. I've been thinking it was strange for a while now. It's been following me this whole time. I run and run, but it just sticks to me like my shadow. But slowly, so slowly, it's digging itself into my back. Maibata-san, are they, right now, perhaps, right behind you? Behind me, right behind me. Please, Maibata-san, I can tell you're scared, but please, who is it that's right behind you? I can't just look behind me. If I do, I'll... I understand that you're scared, but please tell me. You just need to turn around a bit. Who is it? Who is behind you, Maibata-san? Right after I said that, I could hear him vomiting intensely. What followed was a nightmarish sound. Maibata-san, couldn't be that you're clawing out your own throat. There was no answer, but I could hear something like scratching. There was a bang as if something was being hit. Maibata-kun had probably dropped the receiver. I could hear groaning and vomiting over on the other end and a repeating, abnormal noise. Hello? Hello? Maibata-san? Hello? I knew how far away my voice would sound on the other end, but I couldn't help but shout. At that moment I heard whispering coming from the other end. I couldn't tell what he was saying. And the way he was saying it, was he talking to himself? Or was he talking to someone there? Hello? Maibata-san? Rather than whispering, it was some kind of mantra he was chanting over and over. I focused my senses, trying to pick up what he was saying. What was he repeating? What exactly? Beep. Suddenly, the line went dead. Did he use up his time? It was because it was a payphone. Ah. It was because it cut out so abruptly. The last thing he said came out so clearly in my mind. Oishi-san, the car is good to go. Oishi-san? It was. I'm sorry. Oishi-san? That's what he was repeating over and over. He said, I'm sorry. I had a gut feeling. There was no longer a need to hurry. I could hear the chirp of the Higurashi spilling in from the open window. Kui, 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 kui. I should have been able to hear them this entire time. I just wasn't paying any attention. Why did I focus on them all of a sudden? Kui, 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 kui. I don't know what sound Higurashi make, can you tell? I'm trying my best. Were they trying to tell me something? Only the Higurashi knew. That's how I felt. June 1983. In Hinamizawa, a remote village near Shishibone City, there was a murder involving 2 female students. The suspect is Keiichi Maibata, age something in his teens. The suspect called over his 2 female classmates, Reina Ryugu, Mion Sonosaki, to his house and beat them to death with a metal bat. The scene of the crime was the suspect's room on the 2nd floor of his house. The inside of the room was covered with a significant quantity of splattered blood, and there were signs of a struggle with the victims. In addition to the scene of the crime, the entryway, living room, and kitchen all had traces of a struggle. At the entryway, the shoe rack and wall had evidence of being impacted by a strong, blunt force. It is believed to have been the same bat as the murder weapon. Having no traces of blood, it is believed the destruction occurred before the murders. There is a possibility that the suspect overpowered his victims to keep them from fleeing. In the living room, the rug had been pulled back, then thrown aside. It is hard to believe that this had a connection to the struggle with the victims, and thus the reason for this remains unknown. In the kitchen, the garbage bag was torn apart and its contents were spread out on the floor. Garbage was strewn about in the surrounding area, and handprints believed to belong to the suspect were discovered. It is believed that the suspect had, for some reason, taken out the garbage and struck it with his fists. The reason for this remains unknown. In addition, there was a note stuck to the fridge. The words, "Was there a needle?" were written on it. The meaning behind this remains unclear. Just in case, the garbage was searched, but a needle was not discovered. Though the garage door was functional, it had been left open ever since the suspect moved in. The garage door was found closed. The suspect's fingerprints were discovered on the garage door. The reason behind this remains unknown. The suspect fled the scene of the crime. However, a patrolling officer, Hinamizawa Local PD, found the suspect collapsed inside a phone booth. At the time of discovery, the suspect was unconscious in critical condition. He was rushed to the local hospital for treatment, but did not regain consciousness and died 24 hours later. The results of the autopsy indicate the immediate cause of death to have been hypovolemic shock. Hypovolemic shock. Lost so much blood or fluid, your body can't send enough to all your organs. That makes sense. It was determined that the suspect had clawed at his own throat with his fingernails, and the resulting bleeding caused his death. With a similarity to the death of Tomitake-san the prior week, the police believed there to be a connection and have opened an investigation. However, due to the wishes of the local authorities, it will be a confidential investigation. Due to the abnormal nature of the death, it was suspected that drugs were involved. As with Tomitake-san, no traces were discovered. What prompted all this remains inexplicable. As such, this case is being treated as an act committed on impulse. However, with several accounts of the suspect's bizarre behavior leading up to the incident, it is possible that this was premeditated. Separated from his group of friends, isolation, inexplicable behavior. Several days before the incident, the suspect began carrying around a metal bat. The suspect was observed displaying aggressive behavior, as well as talking to himself at school. His classmates have actually heard portions of what he was saying. 2 days before the incident, the suspect declared to his parents the possibility of his death. Due to these circumstances, the police have begun an investigation on the possibility that this crime was not committed on impulse, but was instead planned several days in advance. It's the note! Afterwards, a note was found in the suspect's room that he had written by himself. The note was written on 2 sheets from a B5 college-ruled notebook that had each been torn in half. And as if trying to conceal it, was stuck hidden behind a clock on the wall. The contents are written in the appendix. As written, the appendix. The police believe it to be strongly related to the incident. The police changed their line of investigation based on the possibility that the suspect was involved in some sort of incident himself. However, no further clues were found, casting doubt on the credibility of the note. Was the crime impulsive or premeditated? With the situation unclear and no further developments, the case has been labelled as unresolved. However, the following year, suspicion arose regarding the nature of the note. The note was not written on 2 halves of B5 paper from 2 separate sheets, but was originally a single sheet of B5 paper. In order to erase several lines from the middle, someone had torn them out. Judging from the size of the letters, the missing section is estimated to be 2 to 3 lines. It is highly probable that the person who eliminated the lines in question is not the suspect. In addition, judging from traces of large quantities of cellophane taping being stuck to the back of the clock, speculation that something other than the note was stuck there has arisen. The person who first discovered the crime was a detective rumored to have a connection with the incident. Kuraudo Oishii. He underwent voluntary questioning but denies involvement in any damages to the note. The suspect's note. I, Keiichi Maebara, am in fear for my life. I do not know why they are after my life. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Rena and Mion are conspirators of the perpetrators. There are 4 or 5 adults, maybe more. They have a white van. This is all on the first sheet. The section below this has been ripped out. This is from the second sheet. The section above this has been ripped out. I have no idea why it has become like this. If you are reading this, then I am probably already dead, though you may or may not find my body. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. That is my only desire. Oh, God. Keiichi Maebara. Whoa! Clap, 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 clap. Oh. A new scenario has been unlocked! All cast review session! Yay! Wahoo! Extra. Okay, tips. Are there new? Nope. These are we've seen all these. All cast review session, let's go! Thank you for buying Higurashi When They Cry on Ikakushi, a visual novel by... Is it 07th expansion? How was it? If you enjoyed it even a little bit, it would make me happy. Even a little bit is stretching it. That incredibly dark ending made me angry, you know? Made us angry. This Onikakushi chapter is the first story that readers challenging the mystery of the entire series get to experience. It was actually supposed to be somewhat of a prologue. How could the prologue have such an incredibly dark ending? Yeah, but doesn't that happen sometimes? The player digging through the story in order to avoid a bad ending is the point of these types of games after all. It's still just the first chapter. I'm looking forward to the next one. What happens in the next chapter? Reina, do you know? Yeah, they said the next chapter will introduce another aspect of the story. That's a strange way of putting it. What does that mean? In this chapter, they introduced a string of mysterious deaths that were happening. Her voice is getting away from me more and more. Keiichi-kun, 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 Haru. In Hinamizawa recently, right? The next chapter will introduce some of the story of Hinamizawa. With one strange event happening after another, I got totally lost. What exactly is Oyashiro-sama's curse about? Actually, what is Oyashiro-sama to begin with? They didn't explain it much. I haven't heard much about it, but I have kind of a bad feeling about it. It feels like it'll be another one of those scary stories where somebody gets cursed again. Tough luck for Kei-chan! She's so cute! What kind of curses are you gonna get hit with this time? However, I am looking forward to seeing what kind of story it's going to be. Sorry for being late, my bad, my bad. Hey everybody! Oh my god, you can't just show up like that, Tomitake. I didn't even remember your voice. Good work today. Ah, same to you. Huh? Where's Kei-chan? Keiichi-kun is already off reading the script for the next chapter. It must be hard being the main character. Oh, that's too bad. You could have at least poked in to say hello. It's probably because he doesn't have any character art, so he couldn't poke his head in even if he wanted to. Wake-san, that's what we refer to as a personal problem. That's a skill issue. In any case, that story really was a lot of trouble, especially for Keiichi-kun and Reina-chan. Trouble? That was the mother of all bad ends. I wonder, what was the identity of the thing that attacked Keiichi-kun? My theory is that it was the work of people made to look like a curse. But Keiichi made that mysterious phone call at his demise. Yeah, I also thought that call was strange. At that point, Kei-chan should have been certain that the culprits were people. That really was a strange phone call. It almost sounded like he was being chased by a ghost or something. Just from that phone call, it really makes me think that it was the work of a curse after all. Since we're all here, why don't we share our theories? Let's start with Sonozaki-san. I absolutely believe it was people. I think it was a man-made incident that was just imitating the strange folklore floating around Hinamizawa. Suddenly, every year on the day of the festival, for another link in the chain of mysterious deaths that happened certainly is suspicious. That so-called chain of mysterious deaths, it has to be somebody trying to reenact the folklore. Definitely. I think it was the curse. Looking at the scene where Keiichi-san went berserk in the entryway and the last scene with the phone call, those cannot be explained with a human culprit. When you say it that way, it really wasn't the type of scene that would make you think it was the work of an actual person. Yeah, but even then, I still think it was a person who did it. That last scene and the one with the entryway, I think that the stress must have driven him into paranoid delusions. You aren't helping me to understand by using such complicated words. In other words, Keiichi was so scared that he was imagining things. Then, what was the meaning behind that scene? What exactly was that mysterious presence behind Keiichi? Red herring. R-E-D-E. I can't fucking spell. R-E-D-H. I got that. E-R-R-I-N-G. I did it. Mi-chan, what do you mean by a red herring? Like old man Tomitake has said, that scene was the result of Kei-chan having a stress-induced delusion from being mentally cornered. The overly graphic depiction was a ploy to make the player think it was a curse. That's why it was a red herring. The way that they just lay it all out there really throws me off. Because I kind of... I don't think it's supernatural. I think it was people. But it does feel weird to just be like, yeah, it's all paranoid delusions. Like, a lot of it could be explained by that. But I feel like that's kind of a cop-out. For me to just kind of, oh yeah, you know, none of it really mattered, he's just delusional and paranoid. But I also don't think that it was a curse. When you say it like that, but... Well, it just means that there's that possibility. In that case, the theory that Oishi-san proposed during their story, that it was a conspiracy by the villagers, was correct? I don't think it's a conspiracy by the villagers, I really don't. What does the man himself have to say about that? Me? That makes you think, eh? I don't trust Oishi one bit. He's really, really suspicious. It just feels like he's leading Keiichi to do certain things, and yeah, I don't like him. Huh? I totally thought that Oishi-san would be behind the people explanation. During the story, I said it was definitely the work of people, but if a person really was to blame, that leaves a lot of loose ends. Like what? Let us hear what Detective Oishi-san's theory is. First of all, if a human is the culprit, then there has to be a motive. In other words, somebody has to gain something from it. So what you mean is, if this was the work of people, there would have to be something gained from causing the chain of mysterious deaths? Exactly. I felt that somebody could have benefited from the deaths of people related to the dam development, but the recent victims weren't related to that at all. First off, who benefits from killing Mayabata-san? I see. If you say it like that, my case is kind of weak too. Shout out to this person sitting there. I mean, none of your money was stolen. There's no way it was human culprits. But that's not everything there is to it, right? Like Mi-chan just said, there might have been some sort of reason for them to reenact the folklore. Exactly. This wasn't a murder where you consider the typical motives. It makes me think this was most likely some sort of ritualistic murder to reenact the blood-stained history of the village. I'll ask the question of the hour. Who gains from this reenactment? Rika's voice has also gotten so far away from me. It's not about simple benefit. It's a more psychological reason. I think that maybe this was an act of revenge. Something native to the region. Some connection not touched on this time around. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot that we don't know. I am certain that we don't have all the information we need to solve it. I see. A member of some repressed family looking to air out an old grudge of their ancestors. Something like that? I don't like that. Then what is it? Couldn't be that you're leaning towards the curse explanation, Oishi-san.
That's right, that's right. The man playing the detective said so. It's decided. It was a curse.
If, as Mayabata-san said during the story, it was the case that Oyashiro-sama possessed Ryugu-san and Sonozaki-san and committed those acts, that would fit the evidence the most. As much as I hate to say it.
Actually, I'm of the same opinion as Oishi-san. I can't come up with any other explanation for the normally kind Rena and Michan to suddenly start acting strange like that.
About that. May sound strange coming from the person herself, but I think that Mion did it.
I don't get what Mia's saying. I'd like an explanation.
Oh, sorry. In other words, I think this may end up being a really cruel story.
Wait, Michan, you don't mean...
Taking the human culprit theory to its logical conclusion, that's how it would seem. I also have my suspicions. In other words, Ryugu-san and Sonozaki-san both actually had those personalities to begin with and were merely deceiving Mayabata-san. Am I right? I don't believe that. Anything that they say, I'm like, nope, I don't believe it.
I don't like that at all. Wah! This is all the curse's fault. Rena-san and Mion-san and everybody else who are kind, nice people.
I believe you. I mean, I don't, not the curse bit, but I believe that they're all kind people. I think they have their flaws. But you know.
I think that too. I think that Rena and Mion-chan are really good people at heart. I think that during the story they must have been possessed by something.
So Rena also thinks it was a curse. And let me ask everybody who thinks it was a curse. There has to be a reason for a curse, right? It doesn't make sense for a curse to just indiscriminately befall someone. Can somebody explain that?
A curse is a curse. Human logic won't get us anywhere.
Satoko-chan. Personified deity is, in the end, nothing more than the creation of people. That's why their method of thinking is also understandable to humans. Just take a look at the Greek pantheon. They cry, get angry, get jealous. Basically, they're just like humans. They're just like us for real.
So what you're saying is that Oyashiro-sama is cursing people with some benefit in mind?
It's an odd way of putting it, but basically, yes. That's why they say, far from Jupiter, far from his thunder. Ha ha ha, you do have a point.
Basically, it doesn't matter if it's Oyashiro-sama or humans, there has to be a reason. But Rika, what if that reason isn't clear? I don't know.
She's so cute. I'm gonna squeeze her. I got like cute aggression of a Rika. She's so adorable. She's just a little penguin.
That's right. This is still just the prologue. There's still a lot of stuff that hasn't been revealed yet.
Yeah. It's hard to come up with any more theories at this point. No! I won't be satisfied until this is all made clear.
Mion-san seems rather particular about this.
We'll just make the best with what we know. Doesn't this feel interesting? Like the club a little bit?
Yeah. If you put it that way, it does seem interesting.
Well then, let's summarize. Let's see, I think it was curse. Tomitaka-kun thinks it was people, right? Well, it's funky music. Whoa! Times like this, I wish I had hand tracking. Then I could truly dance. Yeah. I'll go with it being people. I also agree with the people explanation. Echo9s! Yo! What's up? We just got through, like chapter 1 and we're doing the extra, like, all-cast review session. Everyone's going over their theories. By everyone, I mean the characters from the story, I guess. Good to see ya. I also agree with the people explanation. That's not to say I hate such fantastic things like curses. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. I'm hoping that like I'll be able to get the next chapter done within like a month. Ideally less, but you know. Yeah, I want to keep going through this game, but at a much faster pace. 2027. Yeah. Isn't that also, I think that there's like a whole bunch of, because there's the main, I believe, 8 chapters, but then I think that there's something about like a whole bunch of additional content. It's been a while since I got like the 07th like mod pack thing, but I remember there being basically Rena. No. Yeah, I remember there being something about a whole bunch of additional stuff, but that's, I think I look into that once I finished like chapter 4 or something. But it could be a lot longer. We'll see, we'll see. Listen, I just really like Rena. I mean, yeah, she has orange hair and big blue eyes and and like autistic swag and a disorder that normal people don't have. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we are the same. Maybe I might be like a little biased and being like, guys, Rena didn't do anything wrong. She's innocent. But in this particular case, the connection to a curse is a little weak. Good for the people explanation then. Ryugu-san was on the curse side of things, right?
Yep. Satoko-chan and I believe it was a curse.
But I don't believe it's a curse, so I'm not that much Rena, really. Truly, when you actually think about it. Oh my god, wait, no, I was having like cute... I was having a cute moment over Rika before. I was having that
Right? Yeah, I think it was a curse. People who say that Rena-san and Mion-san were evil to begin with are more befitting of a curse.
Well, I don't want to believe that my own personality was that twisted. But I have to keep a cool head when I'm in club mode. If I base my choice on just emotion, I'll regret it, you know? Well now, doesn't really matter which side you pick, does it?
Huh? Rika-chan hasn't said anything yet. What do you think? I don't think that Oyashiro-sama is a bad god.
Oh, that's an interesting opinion.
I don't want to worship some bad god that just curses people. I'd like a generous god more than one that curses. That's right, Rika-chan is a shrine maiden. Yep, good opinion.
Then what? If Rika-chan doesn't believe that it was Oyashiro-sama, then do you think the perpetrators were human after all?
We'll just go with that.
Rika-chan, all-knowing being. Well now, that means the votes are split right down the middle. So half of us think it was a curse and half of us think it was people. Entity. Rena-chan, just for reference. What did the test players who played the beta version think? Ooh.
Yeah. There were a lot more players who believed in the people explanation.
That's really interesting. See, right there. Our veteran comrades are cool, collected, and very observant.
But the beta version only finished partway through the story. That's right. Even the people who played the beta might change their minds if they got through to the very end.
She's so... Exactly. What should we do then? This means that the opinions are still split. It's no fun if we don't settle this. We need there to be an odd number of judges. In other words, we need one more opinion.
Perfect timing then. Why don't we ask Keiichi-kun himself? Let's call him. The opinion of the victim himself is very valuable. Since that's decided, it's time for the phone. Hello, Keiichi-kun?
Okay, I think I think that this little bit is coming to an end, and so while we still have like the music, I wanna they have the silly, because they're all so silly, they're all the silliest sausages. I'm just looking at my notes from the first time round. I don't think I did a whole lot of speculating. Okay, alright. Okay, so this is where I'm getting this idea. Of when, yeah. When Mion and... Hold on. Yeah, okay. When Mion and Rena cornered Keiichi in his room, like after he was like, they found him, like there was the whole thing where he's like beating people up or whatever. And yeah, Mion pulls out a syringe. This was a thought that I had the first time around when I played. That Mion is holding a permanent marker. Because she's like, we're gonna do to you what we did to Tomitake. Which I think is referring to how they drew on his shirt. So I think that did he tape the syringe to the back of the clock? I don't remember. But there was a whole bunch of sellotape they found. On the back of the clock, I think. So I think that that could have been him, like, I'm gonna keep this as evidence. I don't remember if he actually did that. He might have done that, he might not have. But it wasn't there. I think that he, yeah, just assumed or believed that it was a syringe and they're like gonna inject him. So I think that the mochi thing with the needle, I think that was a prank. Because of Mion's reaction when he confronted her. And she's just like, yeah, it was me. Like, I think that was... like, she just wanted it to be just a joke. It's just a prank, bro. You got pranked by the prank patrol, you know? And I think they took it too far. And then to mess with him, like, we're gonna draw on your shirt while he's, like, really not having a good time. That's kind of fucked up. They shouldn't mess with him like that. I think that... I don't know about Rena, like, chasing after him. She very well could have been carrying the hatchet because she was gonna go to the like, treasure hunting. Because she did that before. Yeah. But I think Keiichi is a very unreliable narrator. And also part of me kind of thinks, like... because there's like a whole piece of the note missing. There's like 2 to 3 lines missing from the note that he left. That was never shown in the story, that he wrote more than that. There was no, like... Like he wrote more and it got torn out, or he tore out like 2 halves of the paper. Unless he did. I don't think he did though. I think that it could be like the story that we're seeing is someone else, like Oishi or someone, trying to piece the story together from the information that they do have. Because we're given the facts at the end. We were like just given the facts of what happened, and it's like, yeah, we don't know what like stuff is unknown and uncertain. Yeah. It's interesting though. And there's still there's so much information we don't have, and I'm sure that I'm not able to come to any conclusions on, you know, culprit, motive, anything like that. I don't even know how Keiichi died. Like, did he tear out his own throat? Or like, did someone like make it look like he did? Or like, yeah. But this is stuff that I trust will be given the information that we need later on. But I still do want to speculate somewhat, because it's fun. But yeah, I don't think that there is a curse. I think that Rena has some kind of delusions around Oyashiro-sama. Because she had that like at her old school. And yeah, especially that bit where Mion is like, don't like speak about Oyashiro-sama so like loudly, especially around Rena. That makes me think that this is like a thing with her. Yeah. Lots of things set up that I'm looking forward to learning more about. Anyways.
Hello, Keiichi-kun. It's Rena. Are you busy with work right now?
Yeah, really busy. Just when I thought I'd get a break because the chapter's over, it's already time for the next one. How's Kei-chan? Busy?
Yeah.
It's meta, yeah. This all-cast review session is like, it's a meta thing. I don't think that this is like alternate versions as if they're like actors or something. I don't take this as like actually them in the story. Yeah.
Yeah, he's moping.
I can hear you, you know. Must be nice having a wrap-up party. I wanted to go too.
You can come if you get some character art for yourself. Mika, that's a secret. Sorry about that, Keiichi-kun.
But then also there's the whole thing with the director. What the fuck was up with that? Like... Director of like a movie? Of the damn site? Director of like... a hospital? Like... And also Keiichi like getting hit, like almost hit with a van? Like there's a lot of stuff, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff, dude. There's things and there's stuff.
Sorry about that, Keiichi-kun. Anyways, during the current chapter, Keiichi-kun, didn't you die? We were just talking about who the culprit might be.
Basically, we're deadlocked on whether it was people or Oyashiro-sama's curse that killed you. I just get hi. We just finished the first chapter part thing of Higurashi. Hope you're doing well.
I'm really sorry, even though you're busy reviewing the script. Keiichi-kun, which do you think it was?
That's obvious, isn't it?
Which?
Isn't it both of them? Targeted by suspicious people from the village and then cursed by some strange Oyashiro-sama on top of that. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I'm having fun streaming again. Yeah, I hadn't streamed for quite a while. I took a bit of a break. But it's my goal to get back into it because I've missed it. So expect a lot more Higurashi in the coming months. It's both humans and a curse. Everybody's just picking on me. Yeah, everyone's picking on Keiichi.
So very, very pitiful. Next time I'll give you a good patting on the head. Kawaiso, kawaiso.
In the end, the opinions still split, huh? I'll think this over again. We might have missed something.
Well then, please look forward to the next release, Higurashi When They Cry, Watanagashi! Yay!
We did it!
Yahoo!
Okay, so there's also the tips. We could just go over a few briefly. Because I don't actually want to start on the next chapter this stream. I think we can like go over things like the dam site, dam project, these kinds of things, just briefly. A little bit, so the stream isn't like literally just an hour long, but it won't be too much longer. Okay, so this is 1979. So this is the suspects. Where's all the corpse? Is it about the dam site murder? 6 suspects. Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom. Suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. And that was also in the story, because with the director, it's like, are they talking about the site overseer? I wonder. Let's read through this. I'm thinking about like what parts of his body were discovered. Okay. Oh, is that the end of that? Okay. Let's just read through this. I've also got my thinking zone that I wrote up separately. Okay, this is about the dam project, not the murder as such. Just special tabloid report. Lynching and murder dismemberment. Dam construction worksite in Shishibone City. These will give no details on the case. As perpetrators armed themselves in return, it quickly escalated to homicide. Left with a body which nobody could have mistaken as alive. So it's like, yeah, this guy's definitely dead. The leader of the group suggested hiding the body. Horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. Splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. I don't know where I've got this information from, but I feel like the guy that hasn't turned up has like one of the arms. Dissect a piece for themselves. right arm hidden by this person has yet to be found. Going to throw the body right arm into the swamp. Car was discovered abandoned near the swamp, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. So, like, the rest of the body would be... the rest of them... So, like... if you have the two legs, arm, torso, and head, that would be the 5 other parts, I would think. If it was, like, the head, then I could be like, oh yeah, like, maybe it's, you know, he's actually alive and it's a different person. But like still, I mean, they would have access to fingerprints, I guess, if they found one of the arms, and like, yeah, they would be able to know. Okay. What's to think about? Let me quickly open up my thanking zone. 2024. Where is it? Where's thinking zone? So Tomitake's death. He was, hold on, I want like, it's quiet. This has music. Okay. Cops found Tomitake on the way back from Matanakashi around 11:55 p.m. on the shoulder of the road, face down, bloody, throat ripped open with own fingernails, no drugs detected. In state of hysteria before death. That's like Keiichi. He was swinging that lumber, not at people, probably assaulted by multiple people. The woman he was with hasn't returned home or work. So Tomitake was the Deep Hotel in Shishibone City, registered under name Jiro Tomitake. It's a pen name. What if he's like the other suspect that ran off with the arm? Residents in Hinamizawa 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. In 1979. This was 1983, I believe. So he could have been part of it. Because it's a pen name, we don't know his actual name. We also don't know the names of the suspects because they didn't reveal that. They were just like XX and stuff. So then there's the missing woman, Mio Takano, nurse at Irie Clinic. Abducted or maybe a suspect. When was it? I gotta go back to my old document. I should when we get past like chapter 2, it's gonna be rough because I can't rely on my old notes. I will have to take some new notes. I might do that like after streams, but I mean that's a little while ahead. I'm wary. This is the reason why I'm looking through my notes is because I don't want to get like mixed up with information that we don't know from this chapter. Okay. So when Keiichi was feeling sick, this is in chapter 9 according to my notes, and he went to the hospital, Irie Clinic. The doctor gave him a shot and 3 days worth of medicine. As he was leaving, he had a conversation between some elderly people who were seemingly regulars at the clinic. And they're talking about, is it Tanako or Takano? I think I miswrote it in these notes. I think it's Takano. I kind of mention Takano. I'm suspicious of her. I think just because of the fact that she's missing. That makes me suspicious. Because if they're not dead, you know? And the idea of a drug and like the syringe, like a drug that makes you claw your own throat out. I'm suspicious of Keiichi getting a shot and Takano missing. She's a nurse, worked at Irie Clinic. But she didn't return to Irie, like work or her home. So that suspicion is kinda like she wouldn't have given him a shot that makes him tear out his throat because she was already missing. But I feel like that shot could be the start of his paranoia. That's something. Yeah. Oh, okay. There's a newspaper that Keiichi read. Victim site 4 men, victim's body butchered with hatchets and pickaxes, used an axe to split the body into 6. Head, arms, legs, torso. Okay. Yeah, so I was right. Were all the parts found? Yeah, it says the right arm has yet to be found, which makes me think that the rest of it has been. Yeah, I've been wising it up. Good to see you, Shadex. I'm gonna finish up this stream soon because we're like at the end of the chapter and don't want to start on the next one. But yeah, I've got the Higurashi bug. Yeah, I assume that the rest of the body was found, aside from the right arm that's still missing. Yeah. I'm doing a little bit of speculating. Yeah. I think that's about all the speculating I got in me for this. But yeah, I yeah. It's I'm also very confused. There's a lot that I don't know. But I think I do trust that we'll be given the information that we need as we progress more. I've got, you know, a few different kind of ideas, things that I want to keep an eye on, like the nurse lady who went missing, Tomitake, the note that Keiichi wrote. That's really suspicious and makes me question the like the narrator, whoever's telling this story, if it's just someone's interpretation of what, like, filling in the blanks. I'm suspicious of Oishi. I don't like him. Nothing good seems to come of, like, talking to him and stuff. I don't think that Rena and Mion did anything wrong. I think that Mion actually pulled out a marker to draw on Keiichi's shirt. I think that they took it too far playing pranks. They didn't know when to stop. Yeah. And then there's also just Keiichi dying. That is a big question mark. Because it could be unknown drug that makes you claw out your throat. Like, that could make sense. And it could also make you paranoid. Yeah. And when, like, the narration, like, Keiichi's like, yeah, I definitely, like, sent someone, like, right behind me. I'm like, that's just, like, a feeling. That's not, I don't think there's actually someone there. So, like, I don't think that he was being chased by a bunch of people. Yeah. Yeah. So, that's chapter 1. That's chapter 1 of Higurashi. I may stream tomorrow. I don't know if I have things on. But I'll let you know on my Discord. Let me but yeah, next stream will be Higurashi chapter 2. Ooh. I'm so excited. Yeah, thank you very much for coming along. I'm so excited to continue the story. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day or night, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye.